future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today. If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gretna Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gretna Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gretna Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GretnaTrucking.com.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their contact us page and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966.
Have you been looking for home technology upgrades but don't know where to turn? Online information can be contradicting and confusing. Lincoln's own experts at Diode Technologies can turn your living room into the place to watch your favorite sports. Whatever your vision is, Diode Tech is ready to make it a reality. From home theaters to outdoor entertainment spaces, they bring you along through the entire process to make sure you get exactly what you want. If you're ready to upgrade your entertainment space, visit Diode Tech online at diodetech.net or give them a call at 402-793-5124.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
High school basketball fans, take a trip over to the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame while you're in town for state hoops. Admission is free, and it's a great way to learn about some of the greatest athletes and teams to come out of the state, from recently to over 100 years ago in all sports. Learn more about names like Gale Sayers, Johnny Rogers, Bob Gibson, Tom Osborne, and more. Open Wednesday through Friday from 1 to 4 p.m. It's the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame, just north of Haymarket Park at 500 Charleston Street.
State high school basketball coverage from Pinnacle Bank Arena is proudly sponsored by Peru State College, Nebraska's first college helping students excel on and off the court for more than 150 years. At Peru State College, you'll find affordable tuition, a close-knit community, and flexible programs designed to fit your goals. Whether you plan to compete in college athletics or get involved across campus, Peru State helps you reach your full potential in the classroom and beyond. Pursue your potential at Peru State College. Learn more about programs, scholarships, and book your campus visit at peru.edu.
Welcome into a presentation of high school girls state basketball on 93.7 The Ticket. Girls state basketball on The Ticket is presented by Union Bank and Trust, Nebraska Hematology Oncology, Concordia University, Nest 529 Direct Plan, Peru State College, General Excavating, the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame, Doane University, Play It Again Sports, Sunbelt Rentals, the Nebraska Army National Guard, Big Ten Sports Bar, the NDOT Highway Safety Office, and Jimmy John's. Now calling all the action, here is Nick Sainert.
Welcome into the second of our Class B Girls State Tournament quarterfinals at Pinnacle Bank Arena. I am not Nick Sainert, I'm Austin Norman, but just to my right is the high school sports director for 93.7 The Ticket, Nick Sainert. We're getting you set for the 4-5 matchup in Girls Class B State Tournament action. To our left, as we see it, it is Gretna East, the Griffins, and to our right, it is the Sidney Lady Raiders. Again, the 4-5 matchup. The winner will move on to tomorrow's action, where they will take on number 1 seed Norris, who took down Blair 64-33. Starting lineups being introduced right now. Nick, let's take a look at these two teams. For Gretna East, they enter the state tournament on a 13-game win streak. The last time the Griffins lost a game was to Norris back in late December, early January. They've rattled off 13 consecutive wins, the closest of which a 2-point win over the 8-seed Blair. Other than that, it has been a dominating stretch of basketball for the Griffins.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing. It's coming off of a year where they were very successful, and they've kind of ushered out their first class of upperclassmen since they became a new school a few short years ago. They've been here before, obviously led by head coach Wade Coulter, who we'll talk about his fit and talk about the style that he has game after game here in the state tournament. But other than that, they graduated kind of their initial class, and there was curiosity of what does this look like now going forward with a new wave. Here they are right back here in March.
The flip side of this is Sidney, who comes in on their own 5-game winning streak, played 3 teams from the Omaha metro area, went 2-1 in those games, but a loss to Gretna East 63-37 back there on the final day of January. Ended the regular season with wins over Omaha Mercy and Gretna. Getting set for tip-off here between Gretna East, the Griffins in the white tops and bottom, Sidney Lady Raiders wearing all black. Tip is up. It is controlled by Sidney. It's Jordan Schnell running the point for them. She gets it over right wing over to Lily Weiser. Weiser now skips over to Kiara Schrader. Skip right back. Now dunked down inside. Reagan Nesbitt goes to work. Drop step up and in. Reagan Nesbitt, first 2 points on the board for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good job. And once again, we're kind of ushering in some younger and new faces down the post for Gretna East. Nice place for Sidney to start.
Ball on the left wing right now for Gretna East in the hands of Maggie Pfaff. She gets it back out after post entry. Now up top to Justice Love, who fires a deep 3 off the rim. No good. Rebounded by Schrader. She throws it out of bounds. It was tracked down for a moment by Jordan Schnell. She couldn't quite control a lazy pass, Nick, against a little bit of pressure, something we've seen get to teams early on here in the state tournament.
Yeah, turnovers, name of the game so far in the state tournament, both yesterday and today. I mean, we've seen as many teams as have as 27, as many as 27 in some, as few as 4 in others.
Sidney out in a 2-3 zone. Red East works it around. Another 3-ball up and no good by Jordan Schnell. Offensive rebound by Madison Shelburne, no good, but out of bounds, ball goes over to Gretna East.
How about Sidney head coach Tyler Schott returning his team here for another year in the state tournament? They were here last season, lost to Gretna East actually in the tournament last year, but he's wearing the Gretna East color tie as the Sidney head coach.
You know your opponent before the day before. I don't know what we're doing there, coach. It's Pfaff with it, left wing, now back up top to Justice Love. Pfaff now enters it down low to Heather Wadsworth. Jump off pass down to Shelburne, who puts it in for 2. This game tied at 2, just over a minute in. Sidney breaks the press from Gretna East. With it, Laramie Mizigatis now gets it back up top to Schnell. Schnell with it up the top, back to Mizigatis. She looks middle. 2-3 zone both ways. Now down to the short corner. Nesbitt kicks it out.
Now it's with Schnell. She dribbles around. Shot fake. Here goes Weiser to the cup. Drop off down 2. Nesbitt couldn't finish the layup. Good work on the offensive side to get it down low. Nesbitt scored the first 2 points. Couldn't convert that one from the same block.
That's one thing we've seen, over the course of the last 48 hours or so is if the teams can have enough patience to allow their offense to work, eventually defenses will break down. You're not going to complain about that look if you're Coach Shaw over there on the Sidney sideline. Just missed it.
Love brings it into the front court. She gets it over to French. They're playing pitch and catch. Now French will take a left wing 3 off the skip pass from Shelburne. Defensive rebound controlled by Sidney. Schnell gets it up to Schrader. Schrader fires a corner 3. That one short. Ball tipped around, eventually out of bounds off of Gretna East. Again, Nick, we've seen these early clock threes from a number of teams. They're open. Got to make sure you convert them. Otherwise, it's a win for the defense. Here it is, Schnell to inbound. She gets it out to Weiser. She'll try again. That one long off back rim. Got a foul called on Love. She was attempting to box out 2 different players. Ball ended up going between them, and Love gets whistled for the foul. First 3 subs of the game for Gretna East enter the fray. It'll be Elaine Graver, Taylor LaRock, and one more. So Sidney baseline inbounds. It's a skip. Here goes Schrader to the hole between 2 defenders. She splits them, goes up, misses everything, but gets the foul call. She'll head to the line.
This is the other area where teams have either been ultra successful and been a big reason why they can win a close game, or in part of why they've been blown out. Free throw line. We saw last game Blair under 50%. At one point was shooting 30% from the line after they were 3 for 10 at one point. You just cannot have that if you're trying to win here on this stage.
Kira Schrader's first free throw is up and good. Sidney goes back in front. Second free throw up and down to Schrader as well. Second 2-point advantage of the early going here for Sidney. Lady Raiders lead the Griffins 4-2. Just over 2 minutes gone by. Both teams playing 2-3. That one forced in by Lily Frederick. She has it stolen. Now skip pass. This one stolen. Great read by Love. Gretna East has numbers. Love fakes the pass, goes to a Euro step. She is fouled. They will give her credit for going up. Foul committed by Jordan Schnell. Really good read, Nick, after Gretna East turned it over, forcing a pass into the post early in the offense. Love plays free safety, takes it back into her own hands.
That's the other side of it, right, is just as quick as you can turn it over, you got to make sure you're not falling asleep on the other end, right? Maybe you see a lazy pass, right? We've seen extended defensive pressure all day long. In those moments, you got to be able to say, okay, despite us turning it over, I got to keep my head on a swivel because it could be coming my way.
First free throw good by Love. She's at the line for the second one, looking to tie it up. Second one up and down. This game's tied at 4. 2-2-1 full court press again from a team playing a 2-3. Long skip pass. It's Nesbitt with it. Post controls. Tries to dump it off in the corner to Springer, freshly in the game for Sidney, but tipped out of bounds again by Love. It's Mizigatis to inbound. She gets it up top over to Schnell. Right back to Mizigatis, right wing. Schnell now left wing to Springer. Here's Schnell. She probes, draws 2, kicks it over to Mizigatis. Thought about a 3, doesn't take it. She'll skip it. Overhead pass now to Springer. It's with Nesbitt. Skip all the way back across the court to Mizigatis, left wing. Shot clock under 10 seconds. One dribble from Schnell. She gets it over to Mizigatis. Back rim, no good. Scrum for the ball. No control yet. Gretna East had a chance at it, but didn't squeeze with 2 hands. Now quickly back the other way comes Mizigatis. She gets into the lane. Loses a little bit of control, gets bumped. No call either way. It'll trickle out of bounds. Ball to the Griffins.
Yeah, surprised we didn't get a little bit of a bump on the play. It looked like Mizigatis had their foot fully planted, was going to pivot and kind of spin around and got kind of trucked from behind. But in a game also where there's no real rhythm yet to it, there's no establishment, like you just can't always expect on an official to bail you out on something like that.
Taryn French handles now over to LaRock. Back to French with the ball in front of the Sidney bench on the left wing. French overhead skip pass to LaRock on the right wing, now down to the corner. It's with Frederick. Takes a dribble up. She's swarmed by 2 Lady Red Raiders. Gets it away. Now LaRock trap. She gets it up top. It's Graver with it into the high post. Here goes Lily Frederick to the hole. Missed everything on the mid-range jumper. Fight for it. Good control there by Schnell, dealing with 2 Griffins in her face. She gets the ball out of the scrum. Now here comes Schrader. Now over to Schnell. Little run and jump trap there from Gretna East. Skip pass over right in front of us. It's Nesbitt. She gets it in the short corner, stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, no real rhythm yet. I mean, we have 8 collective points between the two teams. We're tied at 4, 3:56 to go in the first quarter, and a couple more subs as I think both teams starting to feel each other out. Not that we've necessarily seen slow starts, but especially in the late stages of the first quarter, early second quarter, you see, all right, who's going to kind of settle in and kind of take the charge for each side.
4 minutes and 4 seconds in at the dead ball. It's 4-4, 8.7 turnovers in the early going. Gretna East has it now. Maggie Pfaff drives, loses that one, tipped out of bounds by Schnell.
If Gretna East is going to kind of take over here, I mean, and they're struggling, no field goals in the last 4 minutes almost, you're going to look towards Taryn French, I would imagine, as they are able to get a second effort on that offensive rebound, Austin, and take the lead. But Taryn French is one of the players that was established last year as part of last year's state tournament team, and you feel like that's somebody you can lean on here.
Graver got the stick back. They ran a little bit of a lob play for Love in the middle off a box alignment. She missed it, Graver, there for the stick back. Then good pressure, gets a tip ball out of bounds. Sidney resets its offense. Skip pass goes over to Springer. A little confused with where to go with it. Now Schnell will attack. Didn't put the foot down first. Didn't put the ball down. So headed back to the Griffin side. For Sidney, that is now the 6th turnover here in the first 4 minutes and change. 6-4 Gretna East. A little over halfway through the first quarter. Love controls to the top of the key against that Lady Raider 2-3 zone. It's French putting it on the deck. She lost out of bounds and traveled. Immediately, ball goes back to Sidney.
Yeah, I mean, for everything that Gretna East is struggling with, Sidney's not doing much better. I mean, you look at some of the trends that they're currently on. 0 for their last 4 on the field, 4 turnovers in the last 2.5 minutes. It's not a great combination for the Lady Raiders either.
3-quarter court press. Gets a tip from Love. Goes to Maggie Pfaff, who finds Love. She goes up on the left side of the rim and draws a foul. So head to the free throw line. That 2-2-1 at Presnick. Sidney put the ball over its head. Tried to throw the pass over the top instead of breaking the pain going through it. Love gets the tip. Rewarded for her defensive efforts with the trip to the free throw line.
Yeah, great active hands, and that's something we've seen over the last couple of days. Great active hands defensively on the extended pressure as well. And for these teams, yeah, they might have seen each other earlier in the year, but also in some of the lower classes, you're not seeing each team once or twice. You don't have a great scouting report on them. The active hands are going to be a key factor in this one.
It's been a little over 30 days since these two teams last met. Love now perfect on 4 shots at the free throw line. It is Gretna East by 4, 8-4, 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Sidney handles the Griffin pressure better this time. They're now into the front court, 25 on the shot clock. With it up top is Weiser, working against the Griffin at 2-3. Now over to Schrader. Gets it back right wing to Springer. Now in front of us, it's Mizigatis. Thought about an off-the-dribble 3, doesn't cake it. So now Schrader gets a paint touch, kicks it back out. It's back to Schrader over in front of the Gretna East bench. With it, it's Springer. Going to have to do something. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Throws it up over her shoulder. Off the backboard, off the rim. No rebound. It was tipped out of bounds then. Off of Pfaff for Gretna East. Fresh 35 for Sidney.
I'm surprised we haven't seen Laramie Mizigatis be a little more aggressive in finding her shot. She seems a little tentative right now, or in the early stages. One of the leading scorers off this Lady Raiders team. See if she can find a shot to fall here pretty soon.
Weiser gets the inbound from Mizigatis. Now back to Weiser. She'll drive right, get it over to Springer. Mizigatis thought about a 3. Instead, she'll drive in, running the layup, no good, around and out. Rebound controlled by Shelburne. The post pushes. She gets it up now to French. French to Love. Love lines up a left wing 3, missed everything. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. 8-4 Gretna East. Sidney breaking some full court pressure now from Gretna East. Springer in front of the Gretna East bench in the corner. Driving with it now Schrader, and she walked.
Yeah, I think we're seeing nerves, Austin, kind of just be there's an adjustment process. Both teams a little fidgety, a little quicker, maybe not focusing on the fundamentals of it, a couple of travel calls and things like that. Those are nerves settling down. They got to settle into this one almost a full quarter in.
Sidney now hasn't scored in the last 3 minutes and 50 seconds. They've turned it over 6 times and missed 6 shots. It's a 6-0 run for the Griffins over the last 3.5 minutes. Entry pass into the high post, gets kicked out. Now it's Shelburne. She's working down the middle of the lane. Runner rattles around, no good. Rebound controlled by Nesbitt, but she left a floater that Gretna East was able to steal. Now quickly back the other way come the Griffins. It's Love, gets it to Shelburne in the middle of the paint, right back to Love on the right wing. Love, skip pass over to French. French right back to Love. Love takes it down the right wing. She threw it away. That one intercepted by Reagan Nesbitt. Nesbitt, same pass, got away with it this time. Schnell now skip pass over. Mizagatis thought about a three. Now she'll step back and take it off the dribble. Lines it up and knocks it down. First points in 4.5 minutes for Sidney. Lady Raiders back within one, just over a minute to play in the first quarter.
Now, granted, that was a transition bucket and a good job by Mizagatis resetting herself and getting her set up, but she's got to be more aggressive if Sidney's going to try to stay in connection with Gretna East and their scoring ability.
LaRock gets it to Shelburne in the mid post. Now French fires up a long three. Nobody home for the rebound on the backside. LaRock gets it fresh 35. Not going to use it though. Love lines it up. Another offensive rebound for Gretna East. Fresh 35 again, and Gretna East should be able to make the hold for the last shot. 30 on the game clock, about 26 on the shot clock. LaRock to Shelburne. She'll take the mid-range jumper. Early clock rattles around and out. Rebound controlled by Sidney, and a foul. LaRock reaches in. She fouls Rylan Mizagatis on the rebound. 24.2 seconds left. Sidney with an opportunity to take the lead at the end of the first quarter.
I don't think you're too frustrated with that shot by Shelburne, though. She kind of turned around right at the right elbow and realized that there was nobody really around her. I think despite, you could have kept it, but there was a 4-second differential between shot and game clock. I think you're okay with that shot if you're Coach Coulter.
So it is that now 1-2-2 full court pressure coming out from Gretna East. Sidney handles into the front court here to Nesbitt in front of the Gretna East bench. Over to Schnell. Schnell with the skip to Weiser in front of us. 10 seconds on the game clock. Gretna East upping the pressure. There goes Schnell. Gets into the lane. Gets it over to Mizagatis. That ball tipped out of bounds. It was Frederick flying over to prevent the reversal pass. 3.3 seconds on the clock here in the first quarter. Sideline inbounds for Sidney. Gets it in. Schnell lines up a deep three, and she drains it. 3-point basket. Jordan Schnell at the buzzer. It is 10-8 Sidney. They are on a 6-0 run over the last minute and change. They lead at 10-8 over Gretna East through one. We'll be back with more second quarter action here from the girls' Class B state quarterfinals on 93.7 The Ticket.
Winning is about more than wanting it. It's about working for it. As Bulldogs, we see that hard work pay off every day. In the classroom, in our faith, in competition. At Concordia, the momentum is building, and you can be a part of it. Join a winning team at Concordia University, Nebraska.
When you or a loved one hears the words, "You have cancer," you want to make sure you're surrounded by a team you can trust, who will be a true partner in your cancer journey. At NHO, you'll be treated like family, and you'll feel that compassion every time you walk through our doors. After all, this is the fight of your life, and you'll need the best people to be on your side. We're Nebraska Hematology Oncology. On your side, by your side.
Back to Pinnacle Bank Arena for more girls' state basketball tournament action on 93.7 The Ticket.
Gretna East basketball as we begin the second quarter. Sidney leads Gretna East 10-8. Near turnover, and it is. A little bit of lazy passing results in a turnover as Graver couldn't snag the ball along the right sideline. So Gretna East began the quarter with the ball. 8 seconds in, they give it away. They've been able to take it away out of their three-quarter court pressure. Sidney needs to get it across. About 2 seconds to do so. Schnell hit the three at the end of the quarter, unable to convert there and get the ball into the front court. Now a turnover right back 11 seconds later.
Yeah, already 10 turnovers in this game for Sidney. Got to value the orange a little bit better than they have so far.
That one tipped by Mizagatis. Good hand, good read on the reversal, and able to corral it. It goes out of bounds. 27 on the shot clock for Gretna East. Best offense so far for the Griffins has been Love getting to the free throw line where she's 4 of 4. Shelburne gets it down low through contact. That's Graver finishing out of the short corner. Tie game at 10.
See, I think a lot of that Shelburne taking that shot earlier, it forced the defender to come and meet her as they pick up a foul in transition here. But on that other side, you force them to draw the defender out, extra pass down low on the doorstep of the hoop, finish with an easy deuce.
Wadsworth with a slight bump up there along the sideline. Didn't look like there was much of that did to impact the play. She gets dinged for the foul. So Sidney ball in the front court, 35 seconds on the shot clock. Schnell controls at the top of the key, steps through some pressure, gets it to Weezer, right back to Schnell. She'll get it into the paint, kick it out to Mizigatis, who drives baseline. Up, under, around, and through Graver. Mizigatis for two. Sidney back on top.
Yeah, Mizigatis and Sidney is at their, I should say, Sidney's at their best when Mizigatis is shooting the basketball. 5 early points for her so far.
It's French back to Love. Now a skip pass over to Frederick. Frederick gives it to the middle. Shelburne surveys, gets it down low. Graver again, up through the contact, count the basket, and one. Good high-low action on back-to-back possessions from the Griffins. Count the basket. Gretna East a chance to take the lead.
Really impressed with Graver, her ability to seal the defender there off. And got the entry pass down low, sealed the defender, drew the easy foul, had nobody essentially in front of her to contest with that easy layup.
Graver wide stance to the free throw line, no good. Rebound it by Mizigatis, flings it wildly, but Schnell was there. Now it's Nesbitt dribbling the ball into the front court. She'll skip it to Mizigatis. Thought about a three, doesn't take it, gets it instead to Schnell, right slot. Schnell swarmed by two Griffins. Gets it to Nesbitt. Now that one taken away. It's Frederick with it. No number. She's pushing all the way to the cup. Goes up with her left. Through some contact, they give Sidney credit for a clean block. It will be Griffin's ball baseline out of bounds. 12-12, a minute and a half into the second quarter. Game that Gretna East led 8-4 at one point. Sidney came back to take a 10-8 lead into the second quarter. Baseline out of bounds. Offenses left side for Gretna East. Kickball off the foot there of Weezer. Had Shelburne slipping it to the basket on the inbounds play, but Graver was unable to get it there. Graver inbounds now. Shelburne has a steal. She goes up through two defenders and draws a foul. Nick, that's way too easy. If you're Sidney, there's no one in that opposite corner allowing that easy steal after about a second and a half of your player possessing the ball. That's the cardinal sin on baseline out of bounds.
Oh, and neither team is exceptionally tall either, and so that's the other part is, you wonder about the guard play also and how important that would be for it. But down there, I mean, you're absolutely right. We've seen teams that have 6 feet tall, 6'1" type of players today. Neither team has it. They actually match up pretty well height-wise in this.
Shelburne rattles home both free throws. Griffin's back on top 14-12. Nesbitt, long skip pass, gets it through. Good hands by Weezer. Now to Mizigatis. She'll skip it over to Schnell. Schnell dribbles with the right hand, now up to Nesbitt. Now Mizigatis, top of the key. Rainbow skip pass to Weezer, gets it back to Schnell. She drives right. Now Mizigatis takes a dribble left. Some miscommunication. Ball's coming right toward us. Great hustle by Nesbitt. Thought she saved it, but her foot was on the out-of-bounds line. Now the 12th turnover for the Sidney Lady Raiders. They have as many turnovers as points.
I got to be honest, Austin. I mean, I know as cliche as it sounds, I mean, you got to be a little more creative with their passes. What I've noticed over the last day and a half so far, everybody just loves to lob the pass lazily over the top of an outstretched defender's arms. Something, pass fake, bounce pass, something. Just some variety in there would be probably beneficial for both sides.
Frederick on the right wing gets it down to French. Now it's back top the key to French. Frederick drives. French relocates deep three, lines it up, back rim, no good. Rebounded by Graves momentarily, but Nesbitt took it away. Good quick hands by 34 in black. A lazy two-bounce pass that was controlled eventually by Schrader. Now it's Schnell driving right back into the teeth. Now here's Schrader. Gets it down to Weezer. Skip pass to Schnell. Thought about a three, doesn't take it. Mizigatis lines one up from the college line. That's down. 3-point basket. Mizigatis. Sidney back on top by 1.
Yeah, leading the Sidney Lady Raiders in points. Mizigatis, 8 points to her stat line. 8 of the 15 belong to her.
Frederick gets it to French. Ball over her head. Now back to Frederick. Looked inside to Shelburne. Now she'll skip it to LaRocque. It's taken away momentarily by Nesbitt. She couldn't control it. Now Shelburne tries to drive around her. Nesbitt doesn't allow it. Shelburne back right to LaRocque in the short corner. French relocates, takes another three. That one is good. Back-to-back three-pointers. Gretna East on top, 17-15.
Let's see if that allows French to maybe get into a little bit of rhythm here.
Another overhead skip pass. This one gets through. Weezer into the front court. Skipped over to Mizigatis. Mistimed the jump. Another turnover for Sidney, headed back to Gretna East side of the court. Like you said, Nick, a lot of rainbow high-arcing passes. That one would have gotten through. Mizigatis maybe jumped a little early. Isn't the tallest player on the court either, off her hands out of bounds.
It still also just isn't a comfortable catch, right, for a lot of people. If you're trying to run something all the way across, it gives defenders so much more time also just to be able to read it and react to it.
Love gets it down to the corner. over to Frederick. Gets it down now to number 14. That is Wadsworth. With it now, Love skips over to French. Wadsworth in the right corner, gets it down low. It's Pfaff going to work, drops it off for Love. Floater, no good. Scrum for the rebound. Wadsworth up and no good. Now controlled by Schnell for Sidney. Into the front court with it. Here's Springer. Gets it across to Mizigatis. Just hit a three from that spot. Doesn't take it. Euro step up, under, through. No good on the scoop shot from the hip. Shelburne takes a couple dribbles. Now gets it up to French. Ball's not sticking. Love kept that pivot foot down just barely. Ends up with Shelburne. Lines up atop the key. Three. Back rim. No good. Rebounded Mizigatis. Mizigatis to Nesbitt. Now here it is with Schnell. Looking to attack. It doesn't do it. Schrader lines up a deep three. Off the glass. No good. Foul on Nesbitt. This one heading Gretna East's way.
The pace of this game starting to pick up, and I think that favors Gretna East a little bit here. Sidney's got to do a smart job of understanding, okay, we're down by 2 right now. We're still in the thick of this. We don't need to rush at anything right now. We still have 3 minutes and change until halftime, but you have 8 more turnovers recorded to your stat line than Gretna East does. This game in the pace favors Gretna East right now a lot more than Sidney.
It's a 2-point game just over halfway through the second quarter. LaRock right wing down to Graves. Skip pass to Love, top of the key. Thought about the three, doesn't take it. Now LaRock will drive around and through, dump it off down low. Bank shot up and good by Shelburne. She's got 6. Gretna East leads at 19-15.
Yeah, Shelburne replaced Haley Levinson last year, who went and played college soccer along with Sonora DeFini. Those are 2 of the bigger players that Gretna East lost last year. Good stuff from Shelburne so far.
Schrader lost the handle on the way up. Shelburne controls, gets it over to French. Finds Shelburne, quick passing. That ball doesn't stick. Taylor LaRock puts in a layup. It is a 6-point lead now for Gretna East. They are on their largest lead of the game. It is 21-15. Griffins over the Lady Raiders. Full timeout. We'll be back in 60 seconds at Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Back to Pinnacle Bank Arena for more girls state basketball tournament action on 93.7 The Ticket.
21-15, Gretna East leads Sidney. 3 minutes, 4 seconds to go before halftime. I'm Austin Norman. To my right, Nick Sainert. Nick, 21-15, Gretna East on a 7-0 run over the last approximately 100 seconds. Sidney took a 1-point advantage on a 3 by Mizigatis. It's been all Griffin since then. The defense has really shown up recently. Sidney hasn't scored in over 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, but this has also been a game of runs. There's been moments where Sidney's gone on a little 6-0 spurts. Now Gretna East, like you said, in the midst of a 7-0 run. Sidney's guys just got to settle back in. Don't let the nerves get too big.
Sidney breaks the full court pressure. They're in the front court now. Springer gets it over now. Mizigatis off the skip. She drives right in the middle, gets a paint touch. Schnell thought about a 3. She drives left, steps through, gets it back to Springer. Lines up a high arcing 3. No good. Mizigatis out of nowhere flies in. Sidney ends that 2+ minute scoring drought. Mizigatis, probably the easiest 2 she's had all day. Now here's Love, top of the key. Looks inside to Shelburne, gets it out to French on the left wing. Now back to Love, top of the key. Looks at the rim. No one steps up to guard her. She'll take a dribble in. It's LaRock into Shelburne. Looks high-low to Graves, not there. Now French, now Love, top of the key. 15 seconds on the shot clock. LaRock probes. Long skip. French ends up controlling it. Now it's Love, top of the key. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Graves, kick out LaRock. Right wing, 3 up. No good. Rebounded by Schrader. Dribbling through the entire Griffins defense. Gets bumped by French as she had to pick up the dribble. Draws the foul.
Not necessarily on that possession, but I was on the previous Sidney possession. It results in a 2-point bucket for Mizigatis, rather. But at the end of the day, I feel like sometimes players look to pass because they just know that's the development of the play. There was a lot of times where Sidney's, some of their players, whether it was Schnell, whether it was Weiser, were even open and just turn around and shoot.
Run and jump trap. Sidney gets it down to Springer in the corner. She hits a 3, and just like that, a 1-point game with 1:50 to go in the half. 21-20, Gretna East quickly into the front court. Love finds LaRocca in the right slot. Gets it down to Shelburne. We have a tie-up in the middle there. Good recovery by Weezer to force the tie-up. That ball heading Sidney's way. A chance to retake the lead.
Yeah, great job. Once again, the pressure from Gretna East is not going to slow down. We know anything we know about Coach Coulter on that Gretna East sideline, this intensity is going to be here for the entire ball game. How can Sidney match it? They're starting to do so out of that last timeout.
Sidney struggling to get it in. Now Nesbitt comes back to get it in the corner. Takes one dribble, picks it up, gets it back now to Schrader. Schrader dribbles up the court, kicks it out. Schnell tried one from the right corner, now from the left, off the rim, no good. Rebound tracked down by Weezer. She drives way strong off the glass, but it's Springer. She follows it up with a runner in the paint just like that. 75 seconds to go before half. Sidney back on top by one.
It was a great box out by Graver for Gretna East. Nobody was there, though, to as she was taking a body and putting a body on Nesbitt. Nobody was there from Gretna East to be able to grab that defensive board.
2-3 is morphed into a 1-3-1 right now for Sidney. Shelburne gets it in the mid-post, drives left, find Graves down low, threw a little bit of contact, no call, but gets the layup to go. Gretna East on top, 23-22. Long skip. Nesbitt goes and gets it. Shelburne went right through Weezer going for a steal. Weezer gets knocked down. Foul on Shelburne. That's her first of the game. Third foul, so a couple more to go before shooting free throws. Either way, 23-22. Gretna East leads Sidney, about 48 seconds to go in the half. If Sidney goes really quick, they might be able to get the 2-for-1. My guess is they'll work the shot clock down or take the first good look. Early run and jump trap, and it works. Sidney throws it away. Schnell left it high. Gretna East now, 43 seconds to work with at the end of the first half. But, of course, the shot clock is 35 seconds, so Sidney ought to have one more crack at it. For Sidney, 14 turnovers.
Yeah, Tyler Shaw slammed his glasses down on the scores table after that. He's coaching this possession on defense for Sidney without his glasses right now.
Doesn't need the readers. Love, nice crossover into the lane. She draws a foul. A little bit of a foot got stuck out. It's a blocking foul. It goes on number 11, Schnell, her second of the game. So shot clock is off, 31.9 seconds to go. It's Love at the free throw line, where today she is 4 for 4. Announcers Jake strikes again. She's now 4 for 5, left it short. 23-22, Gretna East.
Still a much better day at the free throw line for both teams. Sidney's 100% there. They've only shot 2, though. Gretna East 6 of 8.
Love hasn't done any scoring apart from the free throw line. Second free throw up and good. 31.9 seconds to go. First half, 24-22, Gretna East. Schrader now to Schnell. Schnell just turned it over last time, trying to point to Schrader to get it across. She doesn't. Shelburne with a steal. Shelburne takes it to the cup herself, plus the foul. Count the basket for Shelburne. She goes to the free throw line, a chance to convert a 3-point play and put Gretna East up by 5. Great read by the front court player running through the soft pass. Good handle to take it to the cup on the right side all by herself. Free throw, no good. 26-22, Gretna East. Sidney looking for the last shot of the half. Here's Schnell. She hit the buzzer beater at the end of the first. Down to Weezer. Now to Schnell. Ball fake. She can get to the middle of the defense. Kicks it left wing. Weezer lines up a 3. It's good. 3 seconds on the shot clock. That will be how the first half ends. At the end of each quarter, Sidney hits a 3-pointer. In the first quarter, gave them a 10-8 lead. Heading into halftime, though, it's Gretna East leading it by 1 point. We will go to little bit of a monitor over there at the scorers table to discuss something. But for now, Nick, as it stands, 26-25, Gretna East leads Sidney at the break.
Yeah, I think Wade Coulter was kind of pleading that the clock should have stopped after that made 3-pointer. Then he realized that after the made shot, it's not going to stop, not going to stop running. So at halftime, I mean, this is where you want to be. It's a Class B quarterfinal. This feels like it too.
26-25, Gretna East leads Sidney in the 4 versus 5 matchup in the girls Class B state tournament. He's Nick Sainert. I'm Moss Norman. We'll have more from Pinnacle Bank Arena in just a moment. You're listening to Girls State Basketball on 93.7 The Ticket.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
State high school basketball coverage from Pinnacle Bank Arena is proudly sponsored by Peru State College, Nebraska's first college helping students excel on and off the court for more than 150 years. At Peru State College, you'll find affordable tuition, a close-knit community, and flexible programs designed to fit your goals. Whether you plan to compete in college athletics or get involved across campus, Peru State helps you reach your full potential in the classroom and beyond. Pursue your potential at Peru State College. Learn more about programs, scholarships, and book your campus visit at peru.edu. Attention, Nebraska sports fans. Are you ready to take your skills to the next level? The Army National Guard is looking for leaders who are dedicated, driven, and ready to make a difference. Join up and gain invaluable experience while serving your country with a flexible schedule, competitive benefits, and a chance to build a strong future. Learn more at nationalguard.com/Nebraska. Live here, serve here. The Nebraska Army National Guard. Guard the good life.
A membership with John Henry's will fast-track you to front-of-the-line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
And electrical.
General Excavating has been a leading underground utilities contractor for nearly 40 years, and they're growing. General Excavating is hiring for more than 50 positions with offices in Lincoln, Omaha, Sioux Falls, and Cheyenne. Positions range from senior project managers to superintendents, utilities foremen, heavy equipment operators, journeyman plumbers, field mechanics, and more. They offer competitive wages, benefits, and PTO with a culture built on the importance of safety. Apply today at generalexcavating.com or call 402-467-1627 for more information.
When you or a loved one hears the words, "You have cancer," you want to make sure you're surrounded by a team you can trust, who will be a true partner in your cancer journey. At NHO, you'll be treated like family, and you'll feel that compassion every time you walk through our doors. After all, this is the fight of your life, and you'll need the best people to be on your side. We're Nebraska Hematology Oncology. On your side, by your side.
Big Ten Sports Bar and Grill welcomes out-of-towners to Lincoln for state high school basketball and congratulates your schools on making it to the tournament. Your local bar is comfortable and you know the regulars. Find that experience at Big Ten Sports Bar and Grill, where it's a small-town feel with lots of space. Big groups are more than welcome, so come on by before or after your team plays to experience great food, great drinks, and great times, all at Big Ten Sports Bar and Grill, downtown at 10th and P. Parents deal with a lot of what-ifs. What if my child gets a scholarship? What if they don't? What if they go to college? Or what if they pursue a trade? Nest 529 makes it easy to save for higher education costs, so you're always prepared for life's what-ifs. Learn more at nest529.com/hoops. Check with your home state to learn if it offers tax or other benefits for investing in its own 529 plan. Investment products are not FDIC insured, may lose value, no bank guarantee.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
High school basketball fans, take a trip over to the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame while you're in town for state hoops. Admission is free, and it's a great way to learn about some of the greatest athletes and teams to come out of the state, from recently to over 100 years ago in all sports. Learn more about names like Gale Sayers, Johnny Rogers, Bob Gibson, Tom Osborne, and more. Open Wednesday through Friday from 1 to 4 p.m. It's the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame, just north of Haymarket Park at 500 Charleston Street.
Back to Pinnacle Bank Arena for more girls' state basketball tournament action on 93.7 The Ticket.
At the half, Gretna East leads Sidney. It's 26-25. Griffins over the Lady Raiders. Austin Orman and Nick Sainer with you courtside at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Day 1 of the state tournament, when you think about it in the Class B lens. Day 2 overall. Have a couple more fantastic games coming up later tonight here on 93.7 The Ticket as well. Again, 26-25, Gretna East at the half. Nick, the big story, I think, for the Griffins, they force 15 turnovers, and they score 15 points off of those turnovers, really punctuated there by the and one from Shelburne at the end of the half.
Yeah, it is, but then also you look at the scoreboard, and in the end, it doesn't really do a whole lot. And you wonder why. Gretna East 1 for 10 from beyond the three-point line. Certainly not a beneficial stat there, where then the Sidney Lady Raiders are rather 5 for 11, just under 50%.
They are 5 of 11 from 3, 9 of 21 overall. The Lady Raiders are taking 3 fewer shots on the day so far than the Griffins. And Nick, for Sidney, you're down 1 on the scoreboard. There were a couple moments there that it looked like turnovers were going to help Gretna East extend that lead to double digits. You credit the resolve from Sidney to find ways to stick in it, play pretty good defense in the half court for the most part, but to be down 1, committing 15 turnovers, that Sidney locker room, I can imagine they're telling themselves they're in a pretty good spot, all things considered.
Well, exactly. And I think also, though, if you're head coach Tyler Shaw for the Lady Raiders of Sidney, you're sitting there going, okay, guys, the pressure's not going to stop, right? If there's anything we talked about in the second quarter, Wade Coulter is going to even dial it up a little bit more, because he's looking at it going, guys, with that pressure, we had 15 turnovers. We could probably do a little bit more in the second half. So each coach is probably saying and believing in their game plans, right? You're out here. It's a 1-point ball game. It's essentially tied. It's essentially a 2-quarter game. Who can be better for 2 quarters, 16 minutes to punch a ticket to the state semifinal?
A little reminiscent of the D1 quarterfinal game we had before between Amherst and Sutton. That was a 1-point game at the half that Sutton blew open in the third quarter and put on ice in the fourth. Again, 26-25, Gretna East leads Sidney, the 4-5 matchup. The winner today will advance to tomorrow, Nick. They will take on Norris, a game that the Titans won in pretty dominant fashion over Blair in the first game of the day in Class B.
Yeah, it was, and I think both of these teams match up really well with Norris. Now, obviously, Norris is always going to have an advantage in the height conversation with either team, whichever it's Gretna East or Sidney, and a lot of the other teams in Class B, right? When you talk about Tidball and Wagner and what they can do down low in the paint. However, I think that the pressure that Gretna East and Sidney can provide, especially Gretna East, if the Griffins end up holding on, I think they match up really, really well. Plus, the familiarity is there between the two teams. Maybe not so much in the regular season, but on this stage, they're teams that they're familiar with each other on this stage at PPA.
26-25, Gretna East leads Sidney. About 4 minutes to go before we resume play. Teams getting ready to take the court. We'll take one final timeout. Come back with us for the second half of this Class B quarterfinal next on the ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Winning is about more than wanting it. It's about working for it. As Bulldogs, we see that hard work pay off every day. In the classroom, in our faith, in competition. At Concordia, the momentum is building, and you can be a part of it. Join a winning team at Concordia University, Nebraska.
General Excavating has been a leading underground utilities contractor for nearly 40 years, and they're growing. General Excavating is hiring for more than 50 positions with offices in Lincoln, Omaha, Sioux Falls, and Cheyenne. Positions range from senior project managers to superintendents, utilities foremen, heavy equipment operators, journeyman plumbers, field mechanics, and more. They offer competitive wages, benefits, and PTO with a culture built on the importance of safety. Apply today at generalexcavating.com or call 402-467-1627 for more information. If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
When you or a loved one hears the words, "You have cancer," You want to make sure you're surrounded by a team you can trust, who will be a true partner in your cancer journey. At NHO, you'll be treated like family, and you'll feel that compassion every time you walk through our doors. After all, this is the fight of your life, and you'll need the best people to be on your side. We're Nebraska Hematology Oncology. On your side, by your side.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Parents deal with a lot of what ifs. What if my child gets a scholarship? What if they don't? What if they go to college? Or what if they pursue a trade? Nest 529 makes it easy to save for higher education costs, so you're always prepared for life's what ifs. Learn more at nest529.com/hoops. Check with your home state to learn if it offers tax or other benefits for investing in its own 529 plan. Investment products are not FDIC insured, may lose value, no bank guarantee.
Back to Pinnacle Bank Arena for more girls state basketball tournament action on 93.7 The Ticket.
The final seconds of halftime are ticking away here at Pinnacle Bank Arena. At the break, Gretna East leads Sidney 26-25. It will be Griffin's ball out of the halftime break with that 1 point advantage. Gretna East enters the state tournament on a 13-game win streak. The final game that they lost, the most recent loss they suffered, was a 16-point defeat to Norris. On the other side, Sidney enters the state tournament on a 5-game win streak. They trail it by 1. A false start. An inbounds pass that waved off, so we'll do the inbound pass again here eventually. Sidney lined up in a 1-3-1 arrangement. Schrader with it at the point. Fort Gretna East, Love gets a pass through the window over to Pfaff. Pfaff back to Love. Drives on Nesbitt in front of her own bench. Love will shovel pass over to French. Back to Love, gets it into the middle. Wadsworth takes the elbow jumper up, no good. Rebounded by Mizigatis. Dribbles on the sideline in front of us, gets it over to Schnell. Skip pass right back to Mizigatis. Numbers for the Lady Raiders, they don't take it. Now Weiser way long on that three from the right corner. Back with it, Love. She crosses the timeline. Gets it over now to Wadsworth. Missed the elbow jumper just a moment ago. Back to Love. Now it's French in front of us. Love to Shelburne, top of the key. Gets it back to Love. Lines up a deep three. Short. Rebounded by Weiser. Schrader almost bobbled it. Gets it back. Schnell. Long pass to Nesbitt. Nesbitt puts it on the deck with her left hand. Threw it right there to French. Look for Weiser in the left corner. French, good recovery. Gets it up to Wadsworth off the knee of Schnell, trying to thread it in the 2-on-1 for a layup.
Austin, it's like the start of the game, right? The tempers are not flaring, but it's more so people are getting sped up here. Got to settle back in, do what was working so well at the end of the second quarter for both teams.
Love has it, top of the key, now over to Pfaff. Pfaff gets it down right corner to French, right back to Pfaff. We're playing pitch and catch. 4 passes in a row between the two of them, make it 5. French gets it to Wadsworth, short corner, skip pass, top of the key. Love over to French. One dribble with her left hand. Love now tries to split the defense. She does. Dumped off down low. Wadsworth gets the layup to go. Gretna East on the board first in the second half.
That was a really good find there, but also they missed Maggie Pfaff earlier in the possession on a little backdoor cut from the other side.
And now Mizigatis finds Nesbitt streaking down the left side of the court. Nesbitt left the left-handed layup short. Schrader got a hand on it. Shelburne went tumbling it to the floor. We get a tie-up. It'll be Sidney ball. 28-25. 6:15 to play, third quarter here at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Mizigatis looks to inbound. Get it to Schrader. Schnell, the other ball handler in the backcourt. Nesbitt flashes middle, sets a screen. Schnell bodied there by Frederick. Ball tipped around out of bounds. French couldn't save it. Again, Nick, Sidney, the ball over its head, not breaking the paint or stepping through to try to create a shorter, quicker pass.
Well, and there was moments there where it felt like Schnell could have just dribbled across the timeline and then, maybe allowed the defense to come to her and then pass out of it. Instead, you're passing backwards. Sometimes that will work, but also if you do it every single time like they have, then it's not going to be a surprise anymore.
Schnell splits the defense, draws a foul on Shelburne. So Schnell will head to the line. There is such a thing as being too unselfish. Coaches and players love to credit the extra pass, good basketball juju, if you will, but sometimes you can overpass and talk yourself out of a good shot or the right play. As Schnell knocks down the first free throw, Sidney back within 2 at 28-26. Just over 2 minutes gone by in the third quarter. Schnell takes her dribbles, lines up a free throw. She's true on them both. 1-point game again. Here's LaRock handling against that Sidney 1-3-1 defense. French thought about the skip pass, doesn't do it. Now it's back to LaRock. Back to French on the right side of the court. She'll skip it over to Frederick. Frederick, left-handed dribble, gets it to Shelburne. High-low action, tipped out of bounds. Shelburne was looking for Graves. Good recovery by Mizigatis to knock that one away out of bounds. Give Sidney a chance to reset the defense. Sidney 1-3-1 in the half court, but 2-3 when it goes baseline out of bounds. LaRock long skip pass. French thought about a three, doesn't take it. Instead, she had her heel on the back line, out of bounds. Ball to Sidney. Turnover number 8 for Gretna East, half of what Sidney's done. Schrader will skip over to Schnell. One dribble now back to Schrader. Dangerous pass. Schrader came back and got it. She'll get it to Weiser in the front court. Weiser shovels it back to Schnell. Right back to Weiser, left side. Thought about a three, doesn't take it. Skip pass nearly intercepted by Frederick, but Mizigatis has it. She gets it down to Nesbitt. High arcing three up off the rim, no good. Ball tipped around, controlled by Frederick. Nesbitt went through her for a foul.
I also wonder if part of the reason we're seeing both, a lot of teams, not just Sidney, not just Gretna East, struggle with completing these cross-court passes and not having – there's so much space in between them. Dimensions are a little bit larger, right? It's a little bit of a bigger court, wider. They might be able to think, okay, I'm used to being able to complete this pass in a high school gym. It's easier to get it. Even just a few feet will throw your depth perception off, and you go from a rhythm and muscle memory to now what's on the biggest stage, nerves set in.
Both these teams in these programs have been here recently. They were both here last year, but when you don't play in a gym this big until this stage, that's bound to happen. Shelburne kicks it out to Wadsworth, gets the shooter's bounce on a three. Wadsworth for three. Gretna East up by 4 at 31-27.
This is where we're going to see the Gretna East intensity start to pick up, I think, because they cannot sense blood in the water quite yet. They're only up by 4, but if they can stretch this to a double-digit advantage by the end of the third, I think it's going to be because of their defense.
Schrader drive, shovel pass to Weiser. Schnell one dribble. Weiser now skips it to Mizigatis. Left wing, now Schnell, top of the key. 15 on the shot clock, over to Weiser. Thought about a three. She'll take a couple dribbles right, get it off to Nesbitt. She's in the right corner working on Wadsworth. Skip to Mizigatis, lines up a college three. That's long off the bottom of the backboard on the opposite side. Ball strapped for, controlled by LaRock. It's bumped into by her own players, but Graves ends up with it. She'll bring it across the timeline. Dangerous pass. Love went and got it. Mizigatis is out of position. Numbers for Gretna East. Good recovery by Mizigatis. She's back into play. Wadsworth drive. That jumper rejected. Ball falls to Shelburne. She missed a layup. Schnell will step through some contact, get it to Nesbitt, who gets it ahead to Mizigatis. She drives from the left wing through the right side, blocked by freshman Graves. Now quickly the other way comes Gretna East, but thrown away. Lazy turnover for Gretna East with the opportunity to run.
Yeah, it looks like Mizigatis got banged up there. Her holding her right thigh right now just above the knee. Looks like maybe on that quad area, she might have just taken another knee from the Gretna East player.
Charlie horse sort of thing. We'll monitor the status of Mizigatis, the leading scorer for Sidney on the season. Good pressure by Gretna East. It's taken away from Schnell by Frederick. It's to French. French will set up the offense, get it back now to Frederick. Frederick to French on the relocation, drives middle. Good ball fake. She finds Love on the baseline. Floater drops through. 6-point advantage, Gretna East.
It's going to be important for Gretna East here to not dictate the pace of this. Intense on the defensive end, be able to slow your heart rate down on the offense.
Well, the power of a ball fake. How often, Nick, have we seen that long skip pass be the one that's thrown instead? A ball fake back up top hit the cutter going to the baseline as Schnell walked with it. Turnover by Sidney, number 18 on the day, and Coach Shaw wants to talk about it. We'll be back in 30 seconds to Pinnacle Bank Arena.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Back to Pinnacle Bank Arena for more girls state basketball tournament action on 93.7 The Ticket.
33-27, Gretna East leads Sidney. Just over 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Austin Orman, Nick Sainer with you. It's a 7-2 third quarter so far for Gretna East. The only 2 points for Sidney have come at the free throw line. Gretna East to inbound. They get it to Love. Frederick with it against that Sidney 1-3-1. Frederick draws a couple defenders, gets it to Love in the right slot, over to French. Skip pass over the head of Shelburne to Frederick. She'll get to the teeth of the defense. Shelburne thought about the elbow jumper, doesn't take it. She'll kick it to French, who lines up a three and knocks it home. 36-27, Gretna East. Long skip pass from Schrader to Schrader, gets through. Mizigatis back on the bench for Sidney after working out that knee-to-knee bump. Schrader gets it down to Nesbitt, over to Schnell, takes a dribble in. That jumper is long, up through some contact with it is Springer. She's bumped. She'll go to the free throw line.
Yeah, Sidney just getting a little too rushed right now as that dribble in, and Schnell took a long two. Her heels were on the perimeter. Took a long two, number one there, and then number 22 for Springer as she makes the first free throw. She kind of just threw up a second effort there, and fortunately enough for her, got the foul call.
As you mentioned, she knocks down the first free throw. Still the only way that Sidney has scored here in this third quarter. We're about 5.5 minutes into it. Second free throw up and short, rebounded by Love. She looks to push tempo. Two Sidney players trailing the play. Love goes coast to coast, layup up and good. 10-point advantage for Gretna East, their largest of the game. Full court pressure not stopping. Schnell breaks it herself. The left-handed dribble, gets it over to Schrader. Thought about a three, doesn't take it. She spins. High arcing pass to Nesbitt in the same corner. She'll slow it down, get it back to Schnell in the left slot. Schnell centers the ball, kicks it over to Springer. Back to Schnell, quick one to Schrader. Ball fake, two dribbles, skip over to Springer, in and out of her hands. It's going Gretna East way. Yeah. Unforced error from Sidney.
I think Gretna East and Wade Coulter over there, just knowing how they operate and how they think, I think they're starting to sense some blood in the water here. It's a 10-point ball game. You kind of locked down, clamped down on defense here in the second half. You got 9.5 essentially more minutes of basketball to play. Gretna East right now has all the momentum.
Love, second leading scorer on the game, leading scorer for the Griffins, with it down to Shelburne. Through some traffic, ball tipped by Springer, ends up in the hands of French, lines up a three, no good. Ball tipped out of bounds off of Gretna East. Lady Raider basketball.
I mean, honestly, let's even have this. I mean, on that missed shot, the only Gretna East player that wasn't in the paint trying to rebound that ball was Taryn French, who shot that ball. Three of the Sidney Lady Raiders players were beyond and didn't have a chance to rebound that shot.
Mizigatis back in the game. Weezer gets it over to Schrader, or tried to, but Love flies out of the corner of the screen to tip that one out of bounds. Sidney will reset, 24 seconds on the shot clock. 10-point advantage for Gretna East, their largest of the game. Largest run of the game, 8 points for the Griffins. Does Sidney have a run in it? Weezer gets the ball right corner off the inbound from Schrader. Gets it up top now to Mizigatis, leading scorer on the game. Schrader overhead skip pass to Springer. Springer tried to get it back to Schrader, who was tipped, ends up with Weezer. She drives right into the freshman Graves and draws a foul. Graves a little apoplectic about that one, threw her hands up like, what did I do? Maybe not legal guarding position, and brought the arms down as Weezer attempted to drive baseline on the right side.
I mean, if you're Sidney, maybe this is the way you get back into this thing and keep trimming away the lead from Gretna East as you get a couple players in foul trouble. Graver now has 3. You look at Taryn French has 2. I mean, those are 2 of the Gretna East leaders and stalwarts, both on offense, but also on defense. Maybe you get a couple of those players in foul trouble, and you never know what can happen.
Coach Coulter tried to buy Love some time on the bench, but she's right back in the game as Graves sits. 1 of 2 trip to the free throw line for Weiser. Love with it against that 1-3-1. Now French. Back to Love. Skip pass to French at top of the key. Looks to Shelburne, doesn't get it there. LaRock. Now to French on the left side. Shelburne gets it down low to Wadsworth. Kicks back to French. Skip pass to Love. Winds up a deep 3 around and out. But Shelburne crashes the glass. Put back. Gretna East up 11, 40-29. The hazards of a zone. No backside or rebounding help as Mizigatis gets the ball to the middle of the floor. She kicks it out to Nesbitt. Takes a dribble of that ball punted into the Sidney bench by Shelburne. 24.5 seconds on the game clock, 24 on the shot clock as Sidney ready for a baseline out of bounds. They have it on their side of the court. Offense is left side. Lady Raiders trail it by 11, 24.5 seconds go in the third. Nesbitt, what a slip to the basket. Gretna East caught sleeping. First field goal of the third quarter, first non-free throw points for the Lady Raiders. Shot clock dark, 15 seconds to go, third quarter. Gretna East by 9. Frederick out over her skis a little bit, but kept the pivot foot down. She gets it over to Pfaff, drives middle of the lane, kicks it over to Wadsworth. She drives middle of the lane, runner up and good, and that is how the third quarter will come to a close. Weiser's shot was online but short after the buzzer. Through 3, it's Gretna East leading Sidney 42-31. Fourth quarter action in the Class B quarters next on the ticket.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first. Now is the time to get a glimpse into living and learning at Doane University through a personalized in-person or virtual visit. We know once you experience Doane, you'll see why it's a place where you can achieve your goals and shape your future. Schedule your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit.
Back to Pinnacle Bank Arena for more girls state basketball tournament action on 93.7 The Ticket.
What was a 1-point game at the half is now an 11-point game with 8 minutes to go. Gretna East leads Sidney 42-31. Austin Orman and Nick Sainer with you courtside at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Gretna East got the final points of the quarter. They also get the ball to start the fourth. Nick Fort, Gretna East, the front court's been good. Wadsworth and Shelburne have combined for 17 of the 42. Turnovers continue to be the story. Now 19 forced turnovers for Gretna East, leading to over half their points, 22 of them off turnovers so far.
Yeah, Gretna East is it. I said it kind of halfway through that third quarter. It felt like when Gretna East was up by about 4 that they turned up the dial on the defensive pressure. And the matter of can they just still hold on to the nerves on the offensive side of the ball, they were able to do that. They're up by double digits now.
Sidney comes out in man-to-man defense here to begin the fourth quarter. Gretna East sorting through it. Shelburne has the ball, left slot right in front of us. Gets it over to French. Takes a dribble toward the middle of the court. She'll skip it over to Pfaff. Pfaff scoreless in this one. She drives right, tries to step through. Nothing doing. Wadsworth. Left-handed dribble down the middle of the lane. She puts it in for 2, 44-31 Griffins.
The last 2 times Wadsworth has touched the ball, she's drawn a defender out to the perimeter on a shot fake or on just a hesitation and been able to beat her on the dribble drive. Nice job by Wadsworth.
Weiser challenges Shelburne, no good, but Nesbitt right there for the stick-back dueling 2s. 44-33 Gretna East. Griffins into the front court. Sidney back to that man-to-man defense. French over to Shelburne. Nesbitt was trailing the play. She gets into the paint. Foul called on the floor. It'll be a baseline out of bounds for the Griffins.
Yeah, for as much as Gretna East has been able to take control of this game on the defensive end, you got to look at that if you're Sidney and you say, well, that's how we're going to get back into this. Step 1, get a stop. Step 2, score the ball. Step 3 is repeat step 1. That's what you got to keep it as simple as possible here for the final 7 minutes.
Sidney still in man-to-man defense. French receives the inbound pass in the left wing. Gets it up top to Wadsworth. Now it's with Shelburne. Thought about a baseline drive. Gets it back to French now. She dribbles back into the left slot. Skip pass over to Wadsworth. Skips back to French. She'll line up a 3. Back rim, it's strong, rebounded by Mizigatis, who sees she has a numbers advantage. Mizigatis goes all the way, layup no good. She draws the foul. She's headed to the free throw line to shoot a pair.
I also think there's something to be said about it as Graver is sitting on the bench with those 3 fouls for the time being, unless Wade Coulter's about to. Nope. I thought he was going to bring her in. What I was going to say, nope, they are going to bring her in. I was going to say
yes, no. Come on, Coach, make up your mind. You have a game to call.
I need Coach Coulter over there to make a decision. But no, Graver's going to come back into this game here. But I was going to say Nesbitt's got to look to attack at that point, right? Like that's been a big key in Sidney not having anything inside. Has been Graver and Shelburne, and one of those two are out, but not anymore.
Mizigatis recognized she had an opportunity to go one-on-one in transition. She takes it and splits her free throws. She'll sub out here on defense, replaced by Schrader. 10-point game, 6:39 to play in the fourth quarter. Sidney still matching up in man-to-man, increasing the ball pressure a little bit if they can. Shelburne has it, gets it to Love. She gets to the middle of the paint, still working with it, kicks it out to LaRock, head fake. Over to French, skips it over now to Shelburne. She'll line up a 3, back rim and backboard, no good. Rebound, strong rebound there in the paint by Nesbitt. Schrader over to Schrader, skip past to Schnell now in the front court. Schnell attacks to the middle, knifes all the way through. Weiser, Schrader, Nesbitt, open corner 3. She decides to drive it instead. Now Schrader drives back to the middle of the floor. Shot clock halfway gone. Schrader goes to work in the middle. Hook shot, scoop shot, good. Gretna East lead now cut down to 8 with 6 minutes to play.
I really like that possession as Wade Coulter calls a timeout. Austin, I love that possession, my friend, as they touched every part of that the floor. Great movement without the ball. A great job specifically by Schrader cutting down the center of the lane. Fought through the contact, got the easy 2-point bucket. Sidney's not out of this. Plenty of time left. 5:49 to play in the fourth.
It's an 8-point advantage with 5:49 to play, as Nick just told you. Welcome to Lincoln State Hoops fans from across the state. Big Ten Sports Bar, just like your local favorite sports bar, just a little bigger, fit your entire town and more. Stop by before or after any game in downtown Lincoln at 10th and P. Good people at Big Ten Sports Bar, just around the corner from us at 11th and O. We're catty-cornered from each other on the same block. 44-36, Gretna East leads Sidney. 5:49 to play, fourth quarter. Class B girls state quarterfinals. This is the 4 versus 5 matchup. Gretna East called the timeout. 32 seconds on the shot clock. Drawing something up against now man-to-man defense from Sidney, who had played entirely zone defense to begin the game through the first 3 quarters. They're in man to start the fourth. LaRock drives, gets it off to Love. She has it stripped by Jordan Schnell. Schrader throws it up ahead to Schnell. Shelburne knifes through. She steals it right back. Good hustle there by the post player. She's trapped in the corner. Wild pass ends up with Nesbitt. Little out of control here from both teams. Schnell gets it to Schrader. Thought about a 3. She drives the lane instead. Weiser, Schnell. Now Schrader left slot. She'll slow it down, reset. Weiser's at the college line in front of her own bench. Schrader, ball above her head, puts it on the deck. Now gets it over to Schnell. Shot clock halfway gone. Long skip. Weiser gets it. Schrader head fake. She drives left, gets it to Nesbitt. Lines up a high arcing 3-pointer, and that's good. Sidney back within 5.
Yeah, good job. I think they were forced to slow it down there because Gretna East was able to recover defensively and Sidney did not have numbers. It actually worked to the advantage of Sidney. Sidney works better when they can slow things down.
Now Graves through the paint. Sidney got a hand on it. Graves follows her own miss, and she's rewarded with a trip to the free throw line. She draws a foul. Award that one to Schrader. An 8-0 run for Sidney over the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Gretna East had stretched the lead to 13 points. Graves' first free throw up and good. Puts an end to that 8-0 run. Gretna East leads at 45-39.
Yeah, freshman Graver, 9 points, 3 rebounds to her stat line. Nice job today for the freshman.
She takes her dribbles, lines it up, knocks it down. 46-39, back to a touchdown ball game. Gretna East applying pressure. Schnell's going to break it herself. That one tipped by French from the backcourt into the front court. Now Love steals it off a couple rejections. Love probes. She'll back it out. Wade Coulter calling out Miami. Feels like a Miami day here in Lincoln. Beautiful day as Shelburne drives, kicks it left corner. French's three, back rim, no good. Shelburne follows it up through the contact, count it, and a foul.
Nesbitt was lazy on that shot. I think Nesbitt's getting a little tired here as she just neglected the idea to put a body on somebody. She sat on the left doorstep of the hoop, and she just let Shelburne run right by her, and then she tried to recover and committed the foul.
So Shelburne takes advantage of that. Through some contact, was battling with her own teammate for the rebound a little bit as well. Was able to go up strong. Shelburne now the game's leading scorer. She's got 12 points, looking to add to that at the free throw line where she's 2 of 3 on the day. Free throw up and good. In the blink of an eye, Nick, it went from a 5-point game to a 10-point game. You felt Sidney starting to crawl its way back into things. And just like that, a couple turnovers, a couple makes, and it's back to a 10-point advantage almost halfway through the fourth quarter.
And you could potentially say it is a 5 or 6 point swing just in the last 35 seconds of ball.
Mizagata split the trap for a second. She lost it. Here comes Graves ahead to Frederick. Extra pass to Graves running the floor. Lead back up to 12. Give and go basketball at its finest from Gretna East. Pressure still on as Schrader now into the front court. Lost the handle for a second. Ball tipped out of bounds by LaRock. No, off of Nesbitt. LaRock got a hand on it, as did Nesbitt. And now it's Gretna East basketball again. Turnover, 23 on the day for Sidney. Timeout on the floor. It's a full timeout. We'll be back to PBA in 60 seconds on 93.7 The Ticket.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
General Excavating has been a leading underground utilities contractor for nearly 40 years, and they're growing. General Excavating is hiring for more than 50 positions with offices in Lincoln, Omaha, Sioux Falls, and Cheyenne. Positions range from senior project managers to superintendents, utilities foremen, heavy equipment operators, journeyman plumbers, field mechanics, and more. They offer competitive wages, benefits, and PTO with a culture built on the importance of safety. Apply today at generalexcavating.com or call 402-467-1627 for more information.
Back to Pinnacle Bank Arena for more girls state basketball tournament action on 93.7 The Ticket.
51-39, Gretna East leads Sidney. The Griffins and their fans starting to feel good about their chances to advance to face Norris tomorrow. Austin Orman, Nick Singer with you. Halfway home in the fourth quarter of this girls' Class B state tournament game. Love has the ball. Dangerous pass back to her. Now it's French. Left slot looking for Wadsworth. Cuts against that man-to-man defense. She's posted up now. Ball goes back to Pfaff. Now it's Love in the corner. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Horns alignment now for Gretna East as Wadsworth tries to go to work. She loses the ball. It's taken away by Mizagatis, who draws a foul.
Yeah, Wadsworth was trying to make up for losing that basketball there. Had a frustration foul in retaliation to Mizagatis. Sidney basketball down by 12. We've seen them go on a spurt here. Gravers on the bench. Maybe we can see Nesbitt stretch out that defense for Shelburne to defend the perimeter.
Schnell to Schrader. Mizagatis now back to Schnell. Cuts across the grain. Gets it over to Schrader. Dribbles left to right. Schnell over to Nesbitt. She hit a three from there before. Doesn't take it. She'll take a couple dribbles in and miss everything on the floater. Here comes French into the front court. She crosses the timeline. She'll slow things down. Guarded by Schnell. Skips it over to Shelburne. Love with it right in front of us. Guarded by Schrader. A couple dribbles now up to Wadsworth. Miss Shelburne on the cut. Gretna East will keep running motion offense. French now. Straight ahead. She'll back it out. 10 on the shot clock. Give it to Love. It's going to be in Love's hands to create here late in the clock. Double screen. Love with it. Flare screen now to French. He's going to have to put this one up. 2 seconds. A left-handed shot from the righty French off the rim. No good. Rebounded by Shelburne, but she lost it on the way down. Schrader ahead to Schnell. Schnell, easy one to Weiser. Lines up a three. Bobbled it. Puts it up anyways. A rebound by Shelburne. Just over 2 minutes to go. Still a 12-point game. No one picks Shelburne up as she crosses the timeline. Now to Wadsworth. Wadsworth has it right in front of her own bench. Now it's over to French after a couple passes. Back to Love, top of the key. Over to Shelburne, now to Wadsworth. She brings things back to the middle of the floor. Pfaff with the back cut. French lines up a three. This time shoots it with her dominant hand from that spot. No good. Rebounded by Nesbitt. Schnell quickly ahead into the front court, right around French, right through Shelburne. That one's strong. Rebounded by Pfaff. Mizigatis will push to the back, and now she fouls Love. Looks like we had a foul, I thought, on Mizigatis there up front, Nick, with a little bit of push to the back of Pfaff. But Mizigatis hustles back into play and fouls Love down under the hoop.
It looked like a referee calling the pass interference. That's what it was earlier when it looked like it. But no, it ended up, ball don't lie. It ended up getting a foul called on her at the end.
3 subs into the game for Gretna East. They have the ball on our side of the court, baseline out of bounds. It'll be Love to trigger things against that 2-3 zone from Sidney. Now they morph it back into man. Graves back in the game with it. LaRock, now Shelburne. Shelburne fouled by Schnell, went right through her arm. 5th foul on Sidney. That should put Gretna East now at the free throw line for 2 with the 5th foul of the quarter.
I mean, there's a lot of things as if this score holds in the next 92 seconds as Gretna East is up by 12 with a minute and a half to go. I mean, if this is it for Sidney, there's a lot to like about what's coming back. A lot of your key players. Mizigatis is just a sophomore. Schnell is a junior, right? Even Nesbitt is a junior. Next year, you are excited about what's coming back from your coach, Tyler Shaw.
Shelburne knocks down the first free throw. Gets the roll on the second. Gretna East takes its new largest lead of the day at 14 points. Full court pressure is still on, trying to drain some clock from the Griffins. Mizigatis splits the trap at the top of the key, gets it to Weiser. Not much time to work for a great shot. Might just have to take the best shot. Mizigatis lines up a three, missed the rim. Rebounded, though, by Schnell. Gets it to Schrader. She goes to work through a couple of Griffin defenders to draw a foul with 72 seconds to play.
Yeah, points to the clock stopped. Best friend for the Sidney Lady Raiders in this case. Crisp passing is going to be so important here in these final moments for Sidney and for Gretna East, obviously, but that's just been your biggest bugaboo the entire day. And if you're going to try to have any ounce of potential for a comeback, you're not trying to turn it over another 5 times in the final 72 seconds.
Schrader breaks the first free throw. So get a chance at another. It was a shooting foul. 53-39, Gretna East, a minute 12 to play in the second quarterfinal in girls Class B state tournament action. Schrader counts it into the deck, missed that free throw long, rebounded by Pfaff, and then Schrader went right around Pfaff. 1 second comes off the clock. We'll trot down to the other free throw line.
Yeah, we'll see how long Tyler Shaw wants to keep some of his players in here. I would imagine that the white flag will start to wave if Gretna East can make these 2 free throws here. Also, if Wade Coulter decides to move in some of his reserve players from farther down on that bench.
Maybe Coach Coulter can give Coach Shaw the jacket to wave. First free throw good for Pfaff. She creases the scoring column for the first time tonight. Gretna East now 13 points at the free throw line and 27 off of Lady Raider turnovers. Second free throw, no good from Pfaff. Schrader sits under it like a center fielder, waiting for a pop fly for that rebound with no Griffins in the lane. Schnell, couple ball fakes after she picked up her dribble. Schrader comes and gets it. Now the Sidney bench being empty. Long three from Weiser grazes back rim, rebounded by Pfaff. She's going to look to get it across herself for the time being. She finds Love. Love backs it out, gets it to French. French dribbling right in front of us with that left hand, gets it down to Love. She'll attack baseline, no help defense. She gets it over now to Shelburne after the help rotates over. Scrum for the ball. Mizigatis comes out with it. 30 seconds on the game clock. Mizigatis into the front court, picks up her dribble, guarded by French. Get a timeout for some substitutions. We'll keep it right here. Just getting some fresh legs into the game.
While you're in town for State Hoops fans, check out the best kept secrets in the state, the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame. They're open Wednesday through Friday from 1 to 4 p.m. with free admission. They're located just north of Haymarket Park. So if you're in town even this weekend for Husker baseball, as they will be playing Michigan State Friday, Saturday, Sunday, make sure you make your way over there.
Kind of crazy that we're in conference baseball season already.
Yeah.
But here we are.
A couple midweek wins under their belt. Everybody, the low-hanging fruit has always been, they can't win midweek games.
It actually is something to write home about when
There it
Nebraska
is.
baseball beats a couple 7th League teams. Sidney going to work in the half court. Firing up a 3 is Ava Whitty. That one no good. Put back, though, is good by Cadence Ross. She crashes the glass. The sophomore guard gets it to go. Scored just 11 points on the season. Add 2 to her season tally. Gets a chance to make it a 3-point play with 12.1 seconds to go.
Like I said a moment ago, a lot to like if you are the Sidney Lady Raiders about what is coming back next year. Gretna East, you got a tall test waiting for you.
Ross's free throw, no good. Rebounded by Graves. Her pass tipped out of bounds by Lainey Euler.
And I know the saying is normally tall task, but I meant it as a test that is going to be featuring a lot of tall players for the Norris Titans coming your way tomorrow.
Hadley Stotts dribbles into the front court, gets it over to Sadie Feek. Feek holds it, and that is the game. 54-41, Gretna East takes down Sidney in the 4-5 matchup. We'll be back to wrap things up for this session at Pinnacle Bank Arena next on the ticket.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Big Ten Sports Bar and Grill welcomes out-of-towners to Lincoln for state high school basketball and congratulates your schools on making it to the tournament. Your local bar is comfortable and you know the regulars. Find that experience at Big Ten Sports Bar and Grill, where it's a small-town feel with lots of space. Big groups are more than welcome, so come on by before or after your team plays to experience great food, great drinks, and great times, all at Big Ten Sports Bar and Grill, downtown at 10th and P.
When you or a loved one hears the words, "You have cancer," you want to make sure you're surrounded by a team you can trust, who will be a true partner in your cancer journey. At NHO, you'll be treated like family, and you'll feel that compassion every time you walk through our doors. After all, this is the fight of your life, and you'll need the best people to be on your side. We're Nebraska Hematology Oncology. On your side, by your side.
Want to make the easy call? Call John Henry's. From leaky pipes to a broken AC, flickering lights to furnace fights, even drains and duct cleaning, we've got it handled. Plumbing, heating, air, and electrical, all under one trusted roof. Proudly serving homes across Lincoln, Omaha, and surrounding areas, and ready 24/7. Visit calljh.com or call
John Henry's. 435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
and electrical.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
General Excavating has been a leading underground utilities contractor for nearly 40 years, and they're growing. General Excavating is hiring for more than 50 positions with offices in Lincoln, Omaha, Sioux Falls, and Cheyenne. Positions range from senior project managers to superintendents, utilities foremen, heavy equipment operators, journeyman plumbers, field mechanics, and more. They offer competitive wages, benefits, and PTO with a culture built on the importance of safety. Apply today at generalexcavating.com or call 402-467-1627 for more information.
Back to Pinnacle Bank Arena for more girls state basketball tournament action on 93.7 The Ticket.
54-41, Gretna East takes down Sidney in the second of 4 quarterfinal games in the girls Class B state tournament. Putting bow on things at PBA, Austin Orman and Nick Sainert. Nick, it's Gretna East advancing to face Norris tomorrow. Pretty balanced effort for them. Shelburne led the way with 15. Graver had 12. Love and Wadsworth both with 9. Of course, the pressure was the story of the game. They forced 23 Lady Raider turnover, scored 27 points off of them to pull away in the second half. They outscore Sidney 28-16.
Yeah, I'm sure if you ask Wade Coulter, he's going to say I'm obviously not satisfied, but I think a big factor in this one was the intensity on the defensive end, right? Gretna East, I can already tell you what tomorrow is going to look like against the Norris Titans. They're going to force Norris and the experienced ball handlers that the Norris Titans have in terms of Marley Emerson as well as Landry Gates. They're going to force them to make smart decisions with that basketball. Even if they run a point forward attack, sometimes like they have with Izzy Tidball, they're going to force them to make some quick decisions. And as we've seen on this floor and as the stakes become higher and higher, and tomorrow is semifinal Friday, it's going to be just that much more important, that much more crucial that the ball, when the ball handlers for any team, Bennington, Scottsbluff that we're about to see tonight, Norris and Gretna East tomorrow, whoever it is, Millard West and Lincoln North Star, who cares? Whoever is carrying and handling the ball, responsible for bringing it up the floor, directing traffic, you have to make the right decision, and you got to make it. You got to be a quick processor because teams like Gretna East are coming at you.
Top half of the bracket is set in Class B, Norris and Gretna East tomorrow, but coming up tonight, we will have Bennington and Scottsbluff next. Bennington, I believe, 25-0.
Yeah, they are young. They are. I was having a conversation with a couple other folks here along Media Row, and we all kind of agreed Bennington very well might be the next string of Elkhorn North that we saw a couple of years ago with obviously Britt Prince and Reese Booth and McKenna Murphy and those players there. Bennington's going to be moving to Class A here, I would imagine, in next year and stuff. But this season, I'm really interested to see this Bennington Scottsbluff game because Bennington is young. We talked about the youth. Bennington is young, and I think they have a very good chance to be crowned state champions.
That game will tip off at 6 o'clock here on these very airwaves, so stick around for that. Old School comes your way next, though, on 93.7. The Ticket will be back with more from Pinnacle Bank Arena. 2 more games starting at 6 o'clock later tonight. For Nick Sainert, I'm Austin Norman. We'll throw things back to 1040 O Street for the next hour and change.
General Excavating has been a leading underground utilities contractor for nearly 40 years, and they're growing. General Excavating is hiring for more than 50 positions with offices in Lincoln, Omaha, Sioux Falls, and Cheyenne. Positions range from